All right. A lot of time the abadabba I spit usually fall on deaf ears. I remember a show I did on commitment. That show, I spoke about the lion, king of beasts. Now, the thing about the lion, I gave some seriously strong life advice, and a lot of you didn't really get it. So, I'm going to start off with that little story, and you need to see yourself as the lion, and you need to apply the points in the story to your life. Of course, if you're wise and up on this abadabba, you've already heard what I'm saying. Every so often, uh, one of these dudes who are paying attention says something I just have to respond to. Now, this dude has been kicking it with me and a few other giants in the game, and he came up with this comment on Iceberg Slim's book, Pimp. He wrote, anyone who read the book understood that Sweat Jones was the real pimp. Iceberg was mispimping all throughout the whole story. But young niggas take them misguided stories as laws. Hitting on bitches is bad. Using drugs is bad. And a whole list of other mispimping that went on in that book. Now, all I have to say is a giant salute to this brother. For him for recognizing the real deal. A lot of dudes are satisfied with only a few pieces of the puzzle. These dudes today couldn't recognize shit from sugar because both words begin with the letter S. The dudes who got my course can readily hear all the nuggets I drop on my videos and are now applying them to their lives. They used to just listen and be entertained like most of you. They know to catch as many videos as possible because the topics I speak on are so many. I need to cover most of the information covertly because I don't want to give away what that my students paid for. Sooner or later, you guys are going to realize my course and SWU are your strongest allies. All right, I got something you new wave brothers should think about. Instead of trying to reinvent the pimping, why don't you try to reinvent the wheel? It would seem to me the wheel has been around a long time throughout the ages and hasn't really changed in design. Now, I bet you would have an easier time getting people to agree with the triangle wheel than that bullshit you call Abadabba. Just today, a young motherfucker I've been talking to called and asked if I could loan him $50. I ain't got no lot of money, but when a friend is in need, I'm the one to call. Indeed. We started kicking it, and he told me, a couple of problems he was going through. Now, it wasn't no big shit, but he may have needed that $50. I told him, all right, and to meet me. Now that fool told me his hoe had his car, and when she got back, he would call me. Now you guys might not have heard that, but right here is where the buck stops. I don't feel I should go out of my way to assist a man who has a woman. She's physically fit, no injuries. He can, and he could send her to work to get some money. It was a while before he called back. Since he told me his woman had his car, I thought he was going to say, never mind. But he asked where to meet him. And I told him, you niggas killed me. The only time a motherfucker needs a jug is when he's homeless. And if you have a woman, borrowing money, you need to put on some hot pants and stand out there with your dump truck girl. She can continue to be a zero and you can continue to be a garbage collector. Now, nigga with a woman should be asking another man for shit. Now, I ask the question, when is a lion not a lion? Long as you try to explain when he's not, you're going to be wrong. No matter how much sense you make, you'll still be wrong. You need to accept from birth a lion is bred to be a lion, king of beasts. Oh, yeah. That wall that's in front of you all is your lack of vision. Remove that wall in front of you and you'll be able to see. I try my best to do things to help everybody. Everybody that, contact me about getting to a certain position in life, I try to help. The object of getting laced is to have knowledge that'll allow you to move and shake within crowd. That's where the winners are. I went back to being picky about what I teach the students. I'm picky when it comes to women too. I'm that way because I want to win. I'm starting to believe I'll be picking and choosing for the rest of my life. Or am I silly? I believe I can. Well, I don't really believe this, but I must believe I can miraculously get a lazy, scary dude to think he could be a man. Anyway, lions are and will always be king of beasts. Individuals will not have any authority when they are young, but as they mature, they build a commitment and they become committed to being king of beasts. And later in life, will lead a pride until he ages to the point he loses his reign. You must critically think about the things I say. A lion is always a lion. Even in captivity, they are still lions. They are kept semi drugged and full, but they're still wild. As long as he's kept full and sedated, he can be handled by the zookeepers. If that lion got hungry and wasn't fed, he'd find food. Lions know what they want and they go get it. Some motherfuckers don't know what they want and they miss it when it's right in front of their face. I know a woman I might meet tonight. She's on her best behavior. And I'm on mine. The thing is, my worst me is not much different than my best me, but there are differences. Women's best them usually is polar opposites than their worst them. They always have some kind of hidden thought about you, especially when you're a nigga like me. That shit don't come out until they see the worst you, and then the worst them come out. We're like a lion lazing around in the heat, waiting till we get hungry enough to go hunt. Once we get hungry, the only thing on my mind, on any of our minds, is eat. And as he does, we should do. Otherwise, when we get hungry, we should eat. When we want to say something, we should open our mouths and say it. All this being afraid to be you, is not what's happening. As men, we should go out with being kingly on our mind. That would be the only thing, or that should be the only thing on your mind. You're a cub, and as cubs, you need to learn the ropes. You need to go out and shoot your shot every day. You may not get the best responses, but you got to stay on the grind. You got to stay on that same grind daily, practicing. Then the monster you'll become. Don't you think that's what those cubs be doing when you see them wrestling around, playing with each other? You'll see some progress that you've made. And once you've made enough progress to try some of the shit out that you've learned, you'll be headed towards your future. But just as the lion cub, you got to practice daily on being a raw dog. This has to do with you and your commitment to growing. In life, you're going to be faced with all kinds of adversarial situations. But just as the lion does, you should face each one of them as a king would, with no doubt in your mind. All lion cubs won't make it to head of pride. Some of them end up beta lions, just as some of you end up beta men. Only the most committed lion will risk all to get what he's come to believe is his to take. You must be as committed as that lion cub. Now, when you decide to become a real man, you must be fully committed to the entire time you're alive. And you must learn quickly to trust your judgments. As the man you're becoming, your job is the TCB at all times. This means no more making statements you don't and have intentions living up to. Your sense of self should be tied to your word as a man. Your word should be a positive reflection of your integrity. Women lie in wait to see a man stand his ground. And when you do, most of them don't recognize what's in front of them. That's when they act an ass because they aren't used to being around a man who knows his value. When you see the worst them, they're horrendous because they hide so much. That's why I'm bringing the worst me out in about 7 minutes of meeting her. I don't have time to waste. I want to meet the worst hurt right away. I don't have time to waste wondering who this motherfucker is. You shouldn't waste time trapping yourself in your thoughts either. It's just wise to stay on your ABPs and be sure to always make what you say have meaning to what you believe. And never, never make a promise you don't intend on keeping. Remember, women, your woman, they watch it. They watching your every move. So make sure your moves are manly and breaking promises is for losers. Now, are you a trucker? Do you drive long treks across the country? Or you might just make long drives and meet up with clients. Whatever you do for income, if it involves driving, the course has been mobile for a while. The truckers who bought it loves being able to study the course on the road. Along with the course, you get the attention of being in a group, like uh, being in a group of light thinkers without ever having to be anywhere except in where you headed. I know attention spans are shorter, so I have 16 30-minute MP4s with me instructing you like you're in class. You get motivation and encouragement from my unique style of teaching, which puts you in a street smart mentality, but you never need to be in the streets. You get it all in the safety of your cab until you go out and do the exercises, which is where you'll practice the new strategies that I teach you. Practice makes perfect, and all you need to do is practice. All truckers and businessmen who go on road trips, do I have good news? SW off campus confidence course, I'm telling you, is waiting for you. We already know the 5 levels of manhood, but now getting there for those of you who stay on the road is as simple as putting this MP3 in your deck. I guess you say I could do that before. You could, but you wouldn't be getting that push that SWU gives you. My graduation rate has tripled, and that's because of the methods I use, which are now in MP4 form. Do the math, but you know me. If you're a trucker and you want to get out by 4 and get the fifth one free, you'll all want. I mean, you'll want all the 5 modules, and I'll bet you're gonna love getting one of them free. Now, lately, I've been in a lot of meetings, and I've concluded that I've been a monitor of this Abadabba of today for over 8 years. Believe it or not, I've seen a few changes due to the direction I'm going in. I'm thinking about the person to qualify as a replacement of me, who will give you as much as I have tried to give. I'm continuing my videos in SWU, but I'm not going to be checking you youngsters who say foul shit. Therefore, you might see a kinder, gentler, but the same gamed up host as Bud. Now, whoever the replacement will be, will have impeccable references. And I'm taking applications. Now, being a man requires you to stand on the principles you've adopted into your life and to represent those principles at all times. If you go out, if you're at a gathering, no matter where you are, the movies, just be careful and don't get in no arguments with strange people. I want you here so I can rant and rave at you, cuss your ass out. I want to cuss you out and talk about you not having no affidavit. I don't care what I talk about. I just want you here. It's getting too risky to even go out to the drive-in. If you're serious, you consciously check that you're representing manliness in all your moves. Just as the many lionesses that are out, women are out observing all your actions to see if they're attractive to them. That's why you gotta always feel as if you're on stage and the entire establishment is looking at you. So you have to style. You must be this way so you'll never settle for less than what a man is worth to a woman. Most of you have accepted and settled for whatever kind of woman who gives you action. You guys feel like this or these are the main ones. No. I want you to get interested in SWU. If you want to leave it to chance, you can. But if you buy into improving yourself, I'll honor that and you'll be privy to the dope that I'm slinging at SWU. There's a few more things I need to get to be where I want, where I'm in control of everything instead of everything controlling me. All the bullshit I experience is growing pains for me. Those of you who faithfully watch my videos shouldn't just watch them, you should soak them up. After taking in honest inventory of yourself, and you can say you're a confident man, so be it. I already know everything you're trying to learn, and that's just the truth. I've outlined simple directives for you to follow to excel. And in the course, or not in the course, but in the course of following my directives, you will find you've overcome the obstacle of fear within your first month of study. If you couldn't see it then, Now you can see why I don't care one iota about what you'll do next week or next month. I care about what's real, whatever that is, which is now. It really is funny though. If you listen to these dudes, you think they were serious as fuck, but they aren't. Hmm, could that be a sign that that's how the ladies see you also? I continue to hear it from the ladies I speak with when I tell them about my school. You guys talk a good game, but don't come even close to being what you represent. Mama's boys is the phrase I hear the most. As I have always believed, the proof is in the pudding. And if the way you responded to this gift that the crucial time is coming is any indication, your pudding hasn't even started to get mixed. Make moves, not excuses. Now I've been in the woodshed working my ass off on these MP4s. Now, there for those of you who need word for word examples to accomplish your goal. You know, getting a woman and getting results right then. The only thing I can guarantee is that if you do exactly as stated, you will come up. Voice, attitude, and confidence are what you need. Get at me and let me uh, know you're working stiff. or someone blazing the trail in the streets. I don't care, whichever it is. I have instructions on what to do. So get at me ASAP. Last thing, this morning and each morning, I get to wake up. I first think of what I'm gonna do, then get to it. This morning I have a lot of shit to do that I'm not looking forward to. Main thing is my granddaughter is not feeling well, and my daughter got to go to work, so I got to watch my granddaughter, and that's just gonna be that's just gonna be hard. This is why I don't accept those city analogies about this game in general you guys come up with. You cool with your manhood being up in the air. My manhood ain't up in the air. Whatever I tell my daughter I'm gonna do, I'm doing it. And I am gonna be there on time to watch my granddaughter. Let my daughter go to work and get to making some money, build her little bank account back up. She was off paternity leave. I mean maternity leave, and she paid all her bills, car notes, insurance, all that shit, because she had saved money for this occasion. And I'm very proud. See, you guys don't understand how just keeping your word makes you feel very manly. Probably because you weren't laced with the real information on being a man passed down years. When you was coming up like we did. Sooner or later, you're going to realize to get respect from today's women, you got to be confident that you're showing her a man of commitment. The challenge for me today is to pretend like I'm enjoying speaking to the ones that's faking. In life's journey, you're going to meet a few people, some good, some bad. Along the way, somehow you're going to learn to discern which is which. And the sooner the better for you. But it is the unpredictable things about life that keep you going. If you want what I'm speaking about, you gotta commit 150%. There's only one way to be a man. Even if you don't do what I'm saying, if you have this quality, I must tip my hat to you. To be a man, you need to be committed to the principles of manhood. Integrity is key, as is chivalry, and taking care of business as if your life depends on it, because it does. At least for me, it's that way. I wake up every morning and think of what I can do first, because what I decided last night might not be what I want to do this morning. You know what's so cool about that? I have classes or my books or my projects to choose from, but I also have my family. Some mornings I like to wake up with my granddaughter to see her just before she gets busy for the day. Some mornings I like to lay in bed and cuddle with my woman. Some mornings I like to watch MSNBC for a few hours. The thing is, it's my life, and I'm taking full responsibility for what happens in it. Are you? Now, you guys, please share my book announcements on your page. You all have watched and listened to me talk about where I'm going with my company. Now we have the opportunity to blast off. Now, in the future, I will be accepting manuscripts, but for now, I'm using my own books. I'm looking for big things for Real Fly Publishing, and I gotta tell you, thanks for your help. Now, yesterday I didn't really get no call. I got some. Today I didn't get get no calls, and I'm really wondering why. I know a lot of dudes scared of me. Well, be scared. I hope I scared the shit out of you. All right, I'm gone.